Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here watching some Gundam Seed. Last time was the Fading Light, where the escort led by the Archangel gets attacked by the Le Crescent team. Flay sees the death of her father when Kira is unable to protect the ships, and the Archangel reveals that Lacus is on the ship, which causes them to withdraw. So, last time the character that you hate the most suffered the most.
I don't hate anybody the most. I said she's
Sure,
a
sure.
bad character. I didn't say she was a bad character. Just
Just
because
because she
we're
is a bad
bad
guy does
guys
not
does not
mean.
mean we're bad guys.
Yeah. But yeah, no. She's definitely in the worst emotional turmoil at all. We're really highly anticipating her to pick up a gun.
Dumb.
Just saying. Sorry. I was hoping that maybe there'd be a better follow-up there. Anyway, we got a board of characters, so Theta, I believe at least one character is dead now. Is that right?
I don't know. I actually added a couple of dead characters.
Let's see, it's not play. Where is she and then where's her father? I'm trying to find out where they
Well, we
are.
all know what the lines mean.
Ah, there we go. Well, George Allister, there we go. And going all the way down to Flay. Yep, so George Allister is dead. So is everyone else who was out on that ship. Uh, I think Captain Coopman then was on that ship, then given the lines. Okay. So we have at least one captain gone. Beethoven is questionable, and Gerard is still out there somewhere.
Yes, if you want
Uh,
to
d-
bring up these characters from 6 episodes ago, sure.
yeah, the from way back when we were on the asteroid, right? I
Yes, the
don't.
Artemis, if memory serves.
Yeah, I don't think we have any new characters over on the zaft side. I think that was basically it that episode. The big change is, of course, Flay's dad is dead, and Flay's gonna make that everyone's problem.
Well,
So,
one assumes. But then again, the picture we have for her has her in a uniform, so who the fuck knows?
maybe she changes a whole lot. I don't particularly remember.
Well, at least twice. From that dress that she's always wearing into this uniform.
Hmm. And of course, nobody has grown close to Lacuse yet, over on the ship crew, other than, of course, Kira. So we're gonna go and wait and see how that opens up from here, now that she is literally a hostage and has been threatened with death from multiple angles. Because it was like, it's Flay has threatened her, Bad Girl threatened her, and technically, the Zap ships are threatening her as well, because if they blow up the Federation ship here, she goes with it.
I mean, not technically, because at the end of the episode they stood down.
Right. They have chosen not to follow through despite the hostage. So let's go ahead and go over Theta. Do you have any thoughts today?
In regards to taking Lacus hostage, the International Convention Against the Taking of Hostages defines the offense as the seizure or detention of a person, combines the threatening to kill, to injure, or to continue to detain the hostage in order to compel a third party to do or to abstain from doing any act as an explicit or implicit condition for the release of the hostage. Article 75 of the Fourth Geneva Convention of 1949 explicitly states that it is a fundamental guarantee for civilians and persons out of action due to injury or damage, and that hostage taking is prohibited at any time and place, regardless if committed by a civilian or military agents. Further, the
Mm-hmm.
International Criminal Court, in its defining over where it will have jurisdiction in respect to war crimes, defines taking of hostages as part of its definition under Article 8 of its statutes, and further defined against taking hostages of non-combatants in the same statute. Additionally, 37 individual countries' military manuals prohibit the practice of hostage taking, which includes every real life country that would make up our fictional Atlantic Federation and Eurasian Federation. So while, as our main characters, one could desire to make a case for them doing it to have been an intelligent move. Not only was it a morally dubious position to take, but also a war crime that goes against everything they would have been trained to do.
Right. This is hostage taking is always bad, and of course, it did. I don't think they portrayed this as a good or smart move on their part. It was pure desperation on Batgirl's part, right? That's literally it. Yeah.
It's inexcusable.
Oh yeah, no. Batgirl is going to probably have to say something about it this episode. Um,
And this time,
I
Griff,
want
I
to
included
say,
the bibliography in the comment itself. Unlike last time with the fall damage thing.
hey, there we go. We cite our sources around here. But yeah, no, like this doesn't look good for anyone, and of course she's definitely getting court-martialed at a later date at bare minimum, right?
Probably not. Doesn't seem like that kind of show.
Yeah, well, we're still at a war show, right?
I just wanted to indicate to the viewer who might have been tired of us going over and over the fact that they committed a war crime here. Who I assume the comment back is going to be like, so what? Zaft commits war crimes all the time. Because,
It's Zaft signed the Geneva Convention. That's the important part.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the other side signed the convention. You are beholden to the rules that you've agreed to.
Yeah.
If I went out to another country and somehow got myself elected, pulled myself out of NATO, right, and then disregarded every convention in the in the multinational complex that is our global government now,
Yeah.
I would still be beholden to breaking those rules when brought before the international court.
Right,
I
ostensibly,
did not
yeah.
include the example of what was the dictator in the 90s? European. The country name starts with a B. Not Belarus. Bosnia, yeah. The guy who got arrested in Bosnia as its leader was committed on actually hostage-taking war crimes.
Oh, okay, there
As
you
an
go.
example. So, yeah. If you want me to take it seriously, I'm gonna make it real for you. And I've spelled it out. These people are not heroes anymore.
War crimes in space, everybody. What else you got?
The orchestral score from last episode, I didn't really hear it when we were reacting to it, but on a second watch, I know it's not, but I could really see Dennis McCarthy having a hand in this. Some of the tracks felt like they could have been right out of the TNG era Star Trek movies.
Oh, there you go. I think some of the softer tracks I could definitely say would probably feel perfectly at home in TNG for sure. I could agree with that.
I don't remember when TNG movies came out.
All I know is that like the action music for like any of the Star Trek movies is always like very weird to me. I guess maybe like the Abrams movies are different, but
Oh no, please don't continue talking.
oh, sorry. You
Anyway,
held up your head. I thought you
well,
were about
yeah,
to
well,
say.
I was about to say, and then I realized, wait, let me get the other bit of information. So, Star Trek First Contact, which has some of those orchestral scores I was talking about from Daniel McCarthy,
Yeah.
that was 1996. Or 8, sorry. 96 or 8.
Yeah.
That was 96. I was right the first time. Gundam Seed came out in 2002. So, for some reason, I thought the TNG movies came out after Seed came out, but I know he had nothing to do with it. I am just saying it's entirely possible to have those TNG movie riffs in Seed due to the time scale.
Right. Someone at some point probably saw them and at least got an impression of them, if not sample.
Maybe.
Who knows?
What was Flay's dad even doing up there? He mentioned that he was surprised to see her name on the list of rescued civilians, so he didn't make the trip for her sake. We know he's the vice minister of the Atlantic Federation, but he doesn't really allude to what his mission was, other than the fact that the Archangel is to join with the main fleet once they rendezvous, implying these 3 ships were going to join with a larger force for something. He also says that there was no meaning to his being there if they don't meet with the Archangel. Also keeping in mind that someone from Earth boarded Lacus' ship before, and these are the only Earth ships in the area that we know of.
Right. So I think that leaves like three possibilities. One, he's totally responsible for the attacking Lacus's ship, right?
Which I implied last time.
Yeah, so that's your first implication. That'd be like the worst possible scenario. The second is that the Archangel and the entire Gundam project are all his baby projects, and so he's going out there personally to take a look at them and take control of them. That's why he's there. Someone would have to say that, and that would be the end of it, really.
I don't know who our equivalent there would be in the Universal Century, because you're saying
That might
baby
not be.
project, so it wouldn't be Tem, because Tem is the
Yeah.
creator. I guess. Oh god, I can't remember his name, but I'd say Gabo. Who the fuck is Gabo?
Gabo.
Hold on.
Don't you remember Gabo?
Oh sure, now this is
Gabo's my
loading.
favorite.
Hold on, I'm just tabbing
Yeah.
over real quick to the other board.
The third option, of course, is that he is
Gop.
doing a completely different mission. Here's
Gop
my
is what I
theory.
meant.
Gob, okay. The third mission that he could possibly be on is that he may have been on some kind of peace mission. He may have been flying to some kind of meeting. He may have had a reason to be there as a representative of Earth in some capacity. My guess is maybe to a zaft meeting, and Rao takes this as an opportunity to just kill him and make sure the war perpetuates, and that's like a secret mission he had.
No, we saw Rao's instructions before they left because he was talking to Atherin's dad about it.
Yeah.
Also, they keep going over what their actual instructions were every time Rao tries to go off mission. Additionally, I don't think that fits because, again, God, what's his name? George. George says his mission means nothing unless they meet with the Archangel, which doesn't imply anything to do with a zaft meeting.
Right. The third one is a complete toss in the dark. I think the second one sounds strongest to me, but of course, the first one sounds strongest to you.
What was your second one again?
That was the Archangel and the Gundam project is his personal pet project.
I don't know.
So the reason he's out there is to assume control of his pet project.
I don't know. There's literally no way I would be able to. It could be.
Yeah,
there's literally no evidence.
Like one line of info for that one.
Yeah, there's no evidence for, and there's no evidence against. So it's as possible. I think mine has at least a little bit of like conspiracy evidence for.
I think there's one bit of evidence. The only thing is that he says he's there for the Archangel. He's not there for another reason. He's not there to blow up a civilian ship, right?
I feel like
unless it's a lie.
I feel like the debate now comes down to I can't remember what it's called. I think I linked you to it once, where all the characters in fiction have like go to that battle dome thing and they have to fight one another, and then they end up going off and creating their own world where all fiction is together. And Thor and what's her name? Hela?
Yeah.
Hela's a detective, and Thor is a detective on a TV show in the world that he's playing on. And he's like, how many crimes have you solved? None. Oh, you haven't solved it either. Nope, correction. I've solved 75 fake cases. And in this case, I think my 75 fake cases trump your 0 real ones. So I think my conspiracy theory, with some evidence, beats your really good practical theory with no evidence.
You know, I can't beat that logic. I guess I gotta give it to you. Oh, what else you got over there?
Kira leaves his room the moment level 1 battle stations are called for and books it down the hall. He then spends 34... There's another one where I'm timing shit. Where he then spends 34 seconds distracted by Lacus coming out of a room, then an additional 20 seconds being flagged down by Flay. I think an argument could be made, not a strong one, mind you, that had Kira not been interrupted, there's a chance he could have turned the battle in that time. The Montgomery was having trouble with a single Jin most of the time. I don't think that would have been a huge problem for Kira.
The implication there is that, of course, Flay is is, I want to say tangentially, like, is technically responsible for her own father's death for the fact of delaying the person who was going to save.
Well, arguably, Lacus would have higher. Lacus stalls him for 14 more seconds than Flay does.
Mhm.
So, but I mean, arguably, a single Jin is what held their attention for most of that time. And
Yeah.
I would argue that an argument could be made. I'm doing that thing. We're going to form a committee to look into forming a committee.
Yeah.
I'm arguing that an argument could be made that Kira could take out a Jin in 54 seconds if he really tried, and in which case, the Montgomery would not have been distracted and would have been able to maybe avoid getting shot.
Well, I mean, then I guess that makes Lacuse the bad guy, which is what Flake was saying the entire time. You don't know what these coordinators could be up to. They could throw you across the room. They could probably outthink you. And she outthought everyone by delaying the Gundam pilot by 20 seconds, causing this all to
34
happen.
seconds.
34 seconds.
Flay distracted him for 20 seconds.
Right. My counterpoint to all of this silliness, obviously, is if it's a 5-minute like spacewalk to the hangar, I'm not sure like the half a minute or more really affected all that much.
Well, again, Griff, all things being equal, even if it was a 5-minute walk, well, as I said, he booked it. He didn't walk, he was running when he gets distracted. Even if it took him 5 minutes to get there, he still would have gotten outside into space a minute early.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how long it takes him to get out there. Plus the fact the battle goes on for a certain amount of time, up until the Montgomery gets destroyed, during which Kira's already out there fighting. So the minute of help would have come when it was needed. I have specifically looked into every little one of these factors, like how long it takes him to launch, which I think is also more than a minute. So
yeah, here's my actual perspective problem. The fights look like they are going very fast, but in world time, like as we are watching, they are taking 20 minutes. And I don't think that's like just due to like cuts and stuff. It's like I think it's actually taking that amount of time. So I have this like differing perception of like the fight is fast and the fight is slow at the same time. So if it's slow, he can take as much time as he wants to get over there. If it's fast, they should already be destroyed. So neither is true. And I'm just here going, what timeline does all this happen on?
well, again, my point was that the Montgomery was distracted by a single Jin that was not being held down by anybody. And the argument, again, could be made that once Kira gets out there, he's distracted by Atherin. But also, not Rao, Laflaga gets taken out pretty early in the fight and has to go back, leaving only Kira out there. But, well, I guess technically you could also argue that if Kira was out there for an extra minute, he might have been able to help Laflaga, and Laflaga not get taken out as early. So,
right.
There's a lot of shit that could have happened in 1 minute of the fight that Kira could have been out there for.
I like that we have this entire, potential alternate timelines for like just this one fight. Like everything could have changed. Like if this happened, right?
Oh yeah, literally, it's a turn left, turn right, multiverse scenario. Literally, if Kira had kept running and said, "I'll talk after," everything could have wound out different.
Yeah.
As a point of clarification, I do like the character that is Flay. I guess this goes also back to what we talked about bad characters. I'm just thrown off for a second because I put a question mark here. As a point of clarification, I do like the character that is Flay? Question mark. Don't know why. I guess I don't know, punctuation anymore. No. She's a pampered rich girl that has no problem being specious to your face, and it's stuck up about it later. Okay, maybe that's why it was a question, because I'm answering it with a no.
Yeah.
At the same time, I do feel bad for her. She had to watch her dad get killed while going through the spectrum of emotion at her inability to do anything about it, leading right up to the war crime she perpetuated Bad Girl into doing. So it's not that I don't get it. It's really sad, and I feel bad for her. It's just at the same time, you reap what you sow.
It is a tragic character arc is basically what it is right now, right? her own individual flaws or choices are what leads to basically her downfall, which is the tragedy that befalls her father and basically everyone else.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, Griff. She doesn't
I know.
actively do anything that causes this.
Right.
Not unless we get some like real weird passing a note in class butterfly effect that causes a young Atherin to say something to his dad that then leads his dad to go super militant.
Right, yeah, no, like if she was like the one pushing all of the action, like that would be for sure. Here she's just pushing her own drama. We're still seeing a tragic decline of herself through things happening around her or because of her. I would technically pin being specious in front of her friends and making everybody uncomfortable as like a decline. So I would pin that as like part of the tragedy here.
Well, in my notes I put a not quotation marks, parentheses, specious question mark, because I don't know if that's the right term. It's not. I don't think it's racist. What is the Homo sapien? What's the technical term? God, my brain. You're so close to it, brain. Start working. Not. I want to say typography, but that's wrong. The nomenclature of species. It goes.
Taxonomy.
Yeah. What's the taxonomy of the human species currently?
Homo sapien.
Right. And so, what's the sapien part called?
I
think you said Homo sapien too, which is wrong. I mean, Homo sapien.
Sorry. I don't know. I technical name.
Well, I mean the tag. Okay, we're not gonna figure this out in half a second. Just I don't know if the sapien part, if that is a definition of species of race. I don't know what the classification of that is.
All right.
Because once you change that,
species is basically any two animals that cannot possibly interbreed. I'm pretty sure you could probably still do that with all the coordinators. The other thing, race, is basically categorization by humans of other humans.
Oh, it is species.
So that would work.
Well, it is species then. I'm sorry, I just looked up the scientific classification: domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, suborder, infraorder, family, subfamily, tribe, genus, and species. And species is the name that changes when you reclassify, like from Homo erectus to Homo sapien, for example. And I would say that whatever a coordinator is would have to be a new species on the scientific classification of man, and not a new genus. So we would be like Homo coordinator versus Homo sapien.
My impression is that give it another million years and we could see speciation. They could in fact diverge enough.
Wait a second. Did you say a species can't breed with a?
Generally, they are different species that they cannot interbreed.
But they had to have been, because Homo sapiens and Homo erectus come from the same literal line. So
that means they became them. There was speciation at some point. Or the thing evolved over time. Here, we have a group of genetically modified humans who are ultimately still human, but are altered in some form. They are a mutant, divergent form.
Right, but I still think, yeah. But I mean, that's the very literal that's the thing that would change in the classification, would be their species. But at the same...
they aren't different species yet. They are still just different humans.
I don't know, because then we have those various, there's, how many forms are there between Homo erectus and Homo sapien? There are a number.
A lot.
Yeah.
You know, like how every now it's like, oh, look, a new missing link. It's like, yes, there's technically an infinite number of missing links. It's every creature that was between A and B.
Right, but every time they also define the next one that they find as the different species in the line of links. And it's like, if you're saying you can't procreate with the one previous to us, that just seems unlikely. So, I know you're going with scientific knowledge of people that are more intelligent than me, and I'm probably doing the look up. It's obviously a dome, right? On this flat Earth that we're on, because I'm using observation and my own limited knowledge. But I'm just saying that it just seems not likely, considering that the source of new species is mutation in the DNA, and I'm only going to make myself sound stupider as I go on, but
it is the start of it, is what I would give you.
It
is the start of diverging.
I love that the best way to sound stupid is to be knowledgeable, because all you need is a little bit of knowledge to hang yourself with ignorance.
There you go.
Look, look, in my own defense, I know you're no biologist. You're reading shit offline too. You're just siding with the mainstream, and I'm siding with this sounds right, which is never the way to go.
Ultimately, it just depends on how you want to write it and what happens in the next million years, really.
And we have no literal example of the last species of man, so we can't say, "Oh yeah, my cousin Fred just met this cool Neanderthal chick," and bad example, but you know what I'm talking about.
If we find out they're all made from tubes, I mean, you end up just being correct, I think. So.
What do you mean, like the internet?
Yeah. They're all built on the internet.
Just a series of tubes.
Yeah, exactly.
And trucks, I think.
So what else you got?
No, that was my last one.
All right, then. So we've gone over genetics, we've gone over war crimes, and today, Theta, do you remember what is supposed to happen this time? What was our next time
view? We left off just on the thing, so...
Just on the thing? Oh yeah, that's right. We're just now barely getting out of the fight. So I guess we're back to being chased. Hell yeah. So I think with that in mind, let's go ahead and watch. But before we do, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you watch more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as media access stuff, you can go ahead and follow us over on the Patreon. It's just $5 a month, but no pressure. It's all to support the challenge, just a little bit extra.
Click the link down below. Join us on the Discord. Let us know which side you fall on. Pro-war crime or anti-war crime. Oh look, the red mobile suit is shooting the engines at the back of a thing.
Yeah, never seen that before. Who actually gets the final shot on Play's dad here?
Oh,
was it the Jin or Athlete?
No, it's the ship.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said that if Kara got out there a minute earlier, he could have defeated the Jin, and the Montgomery could have possibly evaded the shot. See? See, like, if they had the time to turn, they would have been a smaller target. See, they didn't say the end part, which is the whole war crime part of making it a matter of doing a thing or stopping a thing in order to protect the civilian or the hostage's life.
Right. I guess, like, that's the big deciding factor here, right? Between, like, we are using the hostage as a shield versus, like, you do want this person to survive and you are about to blow us up.
Well, that's why I very specifically...
the point where you surrender, right?
That's why I very specifically read the International Court's definitions, and it's literally one of them was holding a hostage for the sake of demanding that the other person or side do a thing or stop doing a thing.
Right. The way to make this not a war crime is to surrender then, right? You say, we have someone you don't want to kill, we surrender so you don't kill them.
Well, no.
Then they get to
No, you said it right the first time and then you made it wrong.
Did I?
Yeah, the only way to make it not a war crime is to surrender it. Don't even bring up the person on board. You might maybe mention that you have them, but I mean, don't though, because that's also implying negative consequences to your actions. So literally, just surrender is what I'm saying.
It's not a hostage scenario if you give up, alright?
今の放送が聞こえなかったのか。
救助した民間人を人質に
See?
Yeah.
そんな卑怯者と共に戦うのがお前の正義かキラ。アスラ
Kira literally has no answer. They're just back to each other's names.
必ずな。
Well, that's definitely the most verbally motivated Atherin's been.
Bad girl. Bad girl. No, seriously though, you're relieved of command. Bad girl.
分かってますわ。しかし疫病神なんじゃないですかね。この船は。クルーズの方だろ。そりゃ。
どういうことですか。
どうもこうも。聞いたろ。そういうことさ。
あの子を人質にとって脅して。
It wasn't his decision, man.
Yeah, but he's just calmly accepting of what the fuck just happened.
そういう情けねえことしかできねえのは。俺たちが弱いからだろ。
It's not cowardly. It's horrible.
艦長や副長を非難する権利はねえよ。
No, you literally should. You have a duty of morality on your side. You don't follow an illegal order. It's literally...
It's your fault because you weren't cool enough to win.
Oh no, he's literally... We have to just follow orders. Is what he just said. Which is literally, I believe, what an entire generation of Germans learned was not the right call to make. Just lost us a whole country of followers, by the way.
That's right, Flay. It was all just a nightmare. Oh gosh, the eyes.
It's been all over the place right now. Sorry, it's a sad scene, but I just also had the thought of wanting to recut the scene with Kira just standing there and the door just constantly going back and forth against the bottle, and him just being like, boop, 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 boop.
It would completely destroy all tension. The guilt trip to Kira just continues.
See, Amuro never has to put up with this shit. No one ever accuses Amuro of being on the other side or not fighting hard enough. Well, they do accuse him of not fighting hard enough.
They accuse him of slacking around when he needs to go out and not to die. Kira is willing to actually go do the job, but everyone keeps saying he's terrible at it. It's kind of unfair, actually.
I mean, I understand what she's saying at the very least. What if, right?
Yeah.
1% chance that Kira, as a coordinator, isn't fighting as hard as he could. To be fair, he's also fighting against his best friend, or his former best friend. There is a really good chance he's not trying to kill Athrun.
Right, right.
That's just the worst crying I've ever heard.
Positively ugly crying, though.
This is probably the way David Carradine last was heard.
Just nobody locks her door at all.
How can you cry that hard to sound that bad, and just instantly stop when somebody shows up?
It's a manly cry
Oh,
of pain.
what pills does Rao take?
Space cancer. Also, parallels to UC I wasn't thinking of. Char shower scene.
You see, he's got something. He had to check his own hand. I mean, even I've got a table filled with pills that I have to take, but
Yeah.
none of mine are in like a Pez dispenser or a Tic Tac bottle thing.
To be fair, he's in space without gravity. I think that's actually a necessary product.
こちらから大きなお声が聞こえたものですから。
ダメですよ。勝手に出歩いちゃスパイだと思われますよ。
She's just happily bouncing around the room. I actually like that.
このピンクちゃんはお散歩が好きで、というか鍵が
Upside down
かかってる
Haru.
と必ず開けて出てしまいますの。認めたくない。
とにかく戻りましょう。さ
戦いは終わりましたのね。
ええ、まあ、あなたのおかげで。
Well, I don't know. That's a weird way to put that.
悲しそうなお顔をしてらっしゃるわ。
僕は本当は戦いたくなんてないんです。僕だってコーディネーターなんだし、アスランはとても仲の良かった友達なんだ。
アスラン
I know it's supposed to just be a face-to-face scene, but I'm actually slightly saddened that they changed up from the like fun zero-G like placement of themselves around the room to just stand in front of
That's
each
not
other.
gonna help.
そうでしたの。
Oh gosh, yeah. Rumor mill's at it again now.
Well, I mean, they're accusing him of not fighting as hard as he could. One, he just said, I don't want to fight. And then two, admitted the guy he's fighting constantly, like every battle,
Yeah.
is someone he doesn't want to fight and his best friend.
優しいんですけれども、とても無口な人。ハロ。でもこのハロをくださいましたの。ハロハロ。私がとても気に入りましたと申し上げましたら、その次もまたハロー。
Madness.
そうか。相変わらず
No different than, like, the folded cranes thing.
僕の鳥も彼が作ってくれたものなんです。
Oh, that's a line I'm gonna have to draw. So I didn't know who to connect Birdie to at all, so.
お二人が戦わないで済むようになればいいですわね。そりゃフレイの気持ちもわかるわよ。でもあれはちょっとひどすぎるわ。
自分もコーディネーターだから本気で戦ってない。
After learning what he did, he just goes straight to getting a drink.
キラはすごい頑張って戦ってんじゃんかよ。
Ah, shit, should I tell anybody?
いや、俺だって疑ってるわけじゃないさ。
The introspection, man.
モビルスーツでの戦闘がどれだけ大変なものかってのは嫌でもわかるし。
でも本当そうかな。なんだよカズイ。取られちゃったあのモビルスーツ、イージスってのに乗ってんのキラの昔の友達らしい。
Remember, he's the one who didn't say anything either when Flay was being racist in front of him.
さっきあの
And then he said, I'm right, right, you all agree with me.
仲の良かったやつだって。
It's jarring to go from such a soft reveal like that to the triumphant trumpet, right?
No. These bunch of the shows we watch now have middle sections. It's weird.
Yeah. Thanks, advertisements. Bird. Best character. Bird type.
私がいずれ結婚する方ですわ。
やっぱりダメだよ。こんなの。
Who's that next door? Trying to recognize the uniform.
I don't remember.
何？ハロ。キラね。あら、キラ様。どうなさいましたの？
黙って一緒に来てください。静かに。
Yeah,
So-
getting caught like this certainly won't raise any alarms. Anybody?
Definitely not at all.
It never would have worked anyway. Kira's the
Yeah,
one
bro,
person who
not
gets
in the
stopped at
slightest.
every hallway conversation.
何やってんだお前。
彼女どうするつもり？まさか。
黙って行かせてくれ。サイたちを巻き込みたくない。僕は嫌なんだ、こんなの。
So here
You
comes her
literally
company.
took her as a hostage.
Yeah, he can't stand that, but at the same time, sacrificing the safety of everyone
See?
else by turning over the hostage.
See?
手伝うよ。
サイ。
This is a pretty big space pod.
その上からで。
Oh, there was nobody else in the room. Those were just her clothes on the other bed.
Gotta take your dress with you.
You guys have been in there for 9 months.
Coordinators are a different species. Look, they propagated an instant.
You know, I thought they were going to put her like in an escape pod or something. I didn't know they were going to try and take the Gundam with.
それはどうかな。キラ、お前は帰ってくるよな。おい、何してる？お前はちゃんと帰ってくるよな。俺たちのところに。
That dude couldn't see Kira.
約束する。
So why is he upset that these two are just hanging around?
Because they shouldn't be here.
They're always all over the fucking place. They came with the Gundam.
Never mind that messing around with the tank is not something you want anyone to do.
きっとだぞキラ。俺はお前を信じてる。
I'm trying to punch a hole in the wall. They got everybody in the hangars wearing spacesuits, right? Oh no, they're not.
Like, I understand, like, though, his friend's perspective of, like, please come back, Kira, I believe in you. But Kira's definitely showed no intention of ever switching sides, like, whatsoever. He's had every opportunity and has no motivation to do so. You know, this music actually makes me think of, like, Warcraft 1 for a second. But, like, way more bopping.
足つきからのモビルスーツの発信を
Also, you're wrong.
Oh.
Warcraft 1 was a lot more chiptune. I think you think you're something else.
搭乗員は直ちに発進準備。繰り返す。モビルスーツ搭乗員は
It just had, like, that dark vibe to it.
アークエンジェル所属のモビルスーツストライク。ラクス・クラインを同行引き渡す。ただしナスカ級は艦を停止。イージスのパイロットが単独で来ることが条件だ。この条件が破られた場合、彼女の命は保証しない。
Technically, another hostage situation.
キラ。
He's just trying to hand her over
It's
safely, though.
technically the definition of a hostage situation that I literally just started the episode with.
敵の真意がまだわからん。本当にラクス様が乗っているかどうかも。
隊長。
わかった。許可する。
ありがとうございます。
よろしいのですか？
チャンスであることも確かさ。向こうのパイロットもまだ幼いようだな。艦を止め、私の死軍を用意しろ。ハデス。
You know, technically, if you just aim the ship guns at his cockpit, the moment he opens it up, you can kill both of them at the same time.
攻撃を。
Yeah, get anyone with a sniper rifle on board. Just take the shots.
Oh, the ship cannon.
多分な。
You don't specifically need the 5th Gundam. You just need them to not have a Gundam. So technically, from the side shot that we got, he's pointing the gun at the Gundam's head, which contains nothing of value, really.
Yeah.
コックピットを開け。
話して。顔が見えないでしょ。本当にあなただってことを分からせないと。
ああ、そういうことですの。こんにちは、アスラ。お久しぶり。
Pan back, can clearly see your face.
確認した。なら彼女を連れて行け。
I mean, they're at least like at like 50 meters minimum, right?
The camera panned back. We saw her face.
Yeah, this music needs to end suddenly with Kira getting shot.
ありがとう、キラ。アスラ、あなたも。
Click.
キラ、お前も一緒に来い。お前が地球軍にいる理由がどこにある？
僕だって君となんて
Think about it for a moment. Atherin wants you on that side. Everybody on the
Yeah.
other side mostly fucking hates you, apparently.
Keeps guilting you about not doing enough.
They're not really your friends. Well, Sai, maybe. But even he said something racist in passing.
ならば仕方ない。次に戦う時は俺がお前を撃つ。
僕もだ。
The superpower of one of your suits is famously a failure. It's the claw game.
敵モビルスーツ離れます。
エンジン始動だハデス
Hey, going out to do it himself.
He lost last time he fought Kira too, and Kira wasn't as good back then.
こうなると思ってたぜ。
Who knows? This time though, we've literally seen Rao take his pills.
隊長。
アスランはラクス城を連れて祈祷しろ
フラガ隊。
何もしてこないと思ったか。
ラクス危ないですから。
ラウル・クルーゼ隊長。やめてください。追悼慰霊団代表の私のいる場所を戦場にするおつもりですか。
こんな時に何を
そんなことは許しません。すぐに戦闘行動を中止してください。聞こえませんか？
There you go. Guilt. Guilt everybody.
様だ
It's not guilt. Apparently, she was given some sort of authority when she was sent out with a memorial delegation. Enough so that a white officer, which is above captain level, by the way, has to obey.
なんだか知らんが、こっちも戻るぞ。追撃してヤブヘビはつまらん。
はい。
とんでもねえお姫様だったな。あ、どうした？
いえ、なんでもありません。
I keep skipping on every chance to go back to people who love me.
And back to play, who is not slept in 24 hours.
しない。
What was the
Yeah, that's
name
a
of
threat.
that racist group they were accused me of being in before? I gotta go get a pamphlet.
Oh gosh. But no, I think the implication is so Lacuse is on the memorial committee. That is a ceremonial role, basically. She was there because she was there for Valentine's Station, wasn't it? Right? I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember because the event's Bloody Valentine, right?
I like how you're trying to explain it to me, but you have to ask me questions about your own explanation.
Sorry, I'm forgetting things, but no, look, okay.
I literally know everything, Griff. I know it because I said it out loud myself.
Right. Okay,
I'm
but
just
what I'm saying is...
my exclamation was, she's not just a representative, figuratively, that they actually gave her authority when they put her in a position. That was my...
Right, I'm saying it's not necessary.
に去った優しい笑顔、そして消えた命。取り戻せないものはどれか。さまざまに向けられた言葉とその影にある思いは静かに積もり、やがてキラを閉じ込める。今の自分に課せられた使命を知るとき、突き抜け放たれたものは。次回機動戦士ガンダムシード、目覚める刃、駆け抜ける空に何を生むのかガンダム。
Yeah, evidently she also asks a question at the end of every preview.
Oh yeah. Not just will you survive, Gundam.
Well,
but no, like,
that's
she
30 years
doesn't need
removed.
power to do this. She vocalized to everyone's like, hey, I'm here because I'm trying to represent, to honor the deaths of everyone who died in a bloody massacre. Do you really want to have a battle on top of the graveyard? Is that actually a thing you want to do? Because I'm telling everyone.
Well, one, they're not even in that location anymore. Remember when we were there, the whole space was filled with it. It was like a scene out of that game Homeworld. But,
Right.
No, the way she phrased that and the way everyone reacted wasn't a, oh no, we'll get caught. Because I believe Rao would have literally said, yes, let's do it. He and, sorry, I don't remember what our Dren counterpart is called. Let me go back over to the board real quick. Frederick. Ads, I guess. Ads. They both react like they're being commanded. Like the authority was just invoked and they're like, oh shit. So that's why my reaction comes out that way.
I guess the coordinators take the memorial committees very seriously then. I mean, that's the only thing I can end off on.
Well, because, I mean, it was Atherin's dad that sent her out. No, not Atherin's dad. It was Siegel. Siegel sent him out, which means that she's probably operating with the authority of, I can't remember what this committee is called, but she's probably acting with their authority, which then is why even Rao is reacting like somebody above his pay grade is being commanding him.
I feel like maybe there's one more, which is that whatever power you think she has is actually her father's power. So if she is unhappy to her father and her father is in control, then her father will go ahead and reprimand Rao later.
I don't think it's as easy as nepotism. I think
power more.
I think if it was that, Rao would have just said something about being a soft child or something. I think Rao only respects the chain of command so far as it like will discipline him, because like they were like going to discipline him for Heliopolis, and he's like, it's fine, I can spin this. I think if it was like her telling her dad what happened, Rao would have been, I can spin that. This seemed like she was given authority, and now I have to obey that authority because she's the one I'd have to spin it to, and I can't break her order and spin it to her at the same time.
Right. You can't misrepresent it to the person who is being saved and use that as ammunition later. It all falls over. Let's see. I think other things that happened here. So Kira and Atherin both say yeah, I'm gonna fight you for real next time. Like closing the arc on is Kira actually fully fighting or whatever. It's
for the third
he's
time.
dedicated that in his mind. I don't believe it for one moment on either side. The dude just returned his friend's wife safe and sound, and then they go, and I'm gonna kill you next time. I don't entirely buy it. I don't think that they have suddenly changed their opinions on each other. In fact, I think it is harder now.
Two problems I have that, Griff.
Sure.
One, he said, I will defeat you. He didn't say, I'll kill you.
Sure.
Two, you've seen the end of the show. So, your belief or disbelief means nothing to me, Griff. It means nothing. Not until we get to Destiny or whatever comes after this. The thing you haven't seen.
Right. But yeah, that aside, what else do we have here? I do like that all the kids recognize yeah, no, not even talking about war crimes. This is a bad thing to do. Let's do the right thing. And they all kind of go along with it. I think that's at least a good moment. It does resolve our this is a war crime problem a little bit.
Well, not all the kids.
Well, the ones that are there anyway.
The one that initiated it didn't say anything negative about it happening.
She's in a hospital bed having a shock moment. I don't think she's okay enough to have to go and do anything.
I don't think she's in a hospital bed. She's sleeping in the same bed that Lacus was sleeping in.
No. The bedrooms are like bunk beds. Like she was in a hospital room.
I don't think so. I think, obviously...
I don't think she particularly got the largest room out of everyone else, and everyone else is stuffed into the bunk rooms. That doesn't seem right.
Her dad is the vice chairman. You don't think she got one of the big rooms? You don't think the captain had a big room? She's getting the Bjorn treatment. She's getting...
First come, first serve. She just elbows someone out of the way in order to get the big room.
Yeah, literally, we know her room has a shower in it, too. And
I thought that was
bathroom.
the group shower because there were multiple people there.
I don't know. She was changing in it like it was her room. I'm just saying, it looks like the room that she's currently in is the same room that they put Lacus in. So you're telling me that they're using the hospital...
Lacus had a bunk room.
No, she didn't.
She had a bunk room.
We literally just covered the fact that I said who's in the room with her when we panned over one bed next to the other bed. Right, and her bed had nothing... Her bed had nothing on top of it. Well, you said bunk. I'm thinking to the civilians who are in bunk bed situations. So not every
8 beds per room.
No, they're in a hallway. What are you talking about? Every time we've seen the civilians, they're in. Have you ever seen Star Trek Lower Decks, where it's a hallway filled with bunk beds? It's not a bunch of rooms. They're just out in the open, basically. That's why when you see Kira,
rooms have doors.
No. You literally see Kira laying in his bed talking to Birdie, and we're looking over the shoulder of some civilian in a brown coat, and we're also looking down the hall to the bunk beds across the hall from him. It's a long hallway of bunk beds. We've seen it in multiple shots.
Right. So aside from the bunk bed disagreement...
Bunk bed wars
Play
of
is not okay.
2065.
Play is definitely not okay, and is still right on the path to pick up a gun and shoot someone, right?
I don't know. They seem to be getting along in the preview of next episode, but she's probably being more insidious, turning Ellie against him.
Right. It's just becoming more toxic. Oh gosh. Well, we get to see if Play learns anything about anything after the end. Learns to become a better person? No, probably not. Theta, is there anything else from the episode that's on your mind here?
Well, remember, I usually carry these over into my Theta's thoughts for next episode, so...
Of course.
The only immediacy... No, if I have a Theta's thought... Not Theta. If I have a thought, I'll be ranting and raving about it until you close out the episode. So if I go quiet, or not constantly trying to talk over you, then I have no additional thoughts.
We just got to get you onto the bunk beds again, but we'll go ahead and get to that next time.
I can't wait for my next Theta thoughts is a bunch of images of the layouts of rooms. No one will remain seated for the architecture discussion.
Yeah, there we go. So catch you next time for architecture. This has been Stone Face Reactions, everybody. I'm Griffin. That's Theta. We'll catch you next time. See you around. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?